Hi guys, Miss Novello in the Expressions Art Room telling you how to weave your strips together to make blankets for babies. Alright, so we are knitting 30-inch strips, and when they're all finished, we're going to weave them together. They must be exactly 30 inches, so they must line up at both ends. So you are going to first make sure that your strip is 30 inches before you bind off. It can't be 31, it can't be 29, it has to be exactly 30. Once you're done with the two strips, you're going to lay them out end to end so that they line up perfectly. And then the materials you'll need will be a plastic tapestry needle and the same color yarn as one of the strips. So in this case, bright pink or light yellow. And the stitch that we're going to be using to weave them together is something that you are all familiar with, but will probably need a refresher. So I'm using a contrasting color thread so that you can see up close exactly how this is going to look. But it is going to be a whip stitch. So I'm zooming in close so that you can see. Again, you would be using yellow or pink yarn. So where we're going to begin is at the edges of the two strips, and I'm simply going to put my needle through the first loop at each strip. I'm going to leave the tail out and circle around. Then I'm going to scooch down to the next loop of both strips and continue that looping process. I'm going from stitch to stitch and going around. Stitch to stitch, going around. You see the stitches now and they stand out because I'm using black, but when you use the same color, for instance, in this example, this looks really nice. You can see that I've used purple yarn, and I've already woven everything all the way down. And it blends in so that you can't even tell that it's been woven that way. And so to continue this process where I left off, you just go from stitch to stitch and then scooch down just a little bit. Doesn't have to be, you know, every centimeter, but at least around every quarter to a half an inch space apart, until you weave all the way down until your ends. When you're at your ends, you're simply going to tie a knot and then cut off your loose or your extra weaving yarn. All right, so it's the whip stitch, choosing the thread that matches one of the two strips, and then doing the whip stitch all the way across, connecting those two strips together. Easy peasy.